Libra, welcome to your reading. We are officially in your season now, so happy birthday. And thank you for tuning into your video. Right now Mercury is in your sign, so is the sun, and the moon is, the moon is in Sagittarius at the moment. Cusp dates for your sign are the Libra Scorpio cusp, which is the Virgo Libra cusp is September 19th through September the 25th, and the Libra Scorpio cusp is October 19th through October the 25th. I've been shuffling the cards a little bit differently, getting them out before to get on with your reading a little bit quicker, so you don't have to sit here and watch me shuffle for the most part. I'm also offering extended readings at the end of your video, and it will be a separate video. You can click on that, and they are free at the moment. And I will also post a music video because I'm inspired most of the time by music, or some aspect of music or lyrics out of music, and that will pertain to your reading, or that I felt that had a message that was important from your reading. And I don't know what that would be yet because I haven't pulled out your cards, so let me get on with it. Like I said, I was shuffling differently, so I would just shuffle a couple of my decks. Well, I've been using a lot of all of them, and then I just let them fall until they were done, and that's what would happen. And you had a lot come out for your first reading. Okay, so you have the Two of Pentacles. Let me get them all laid out here. And then I'll know how they go. Okay, wow. You're not taking very good care of yourself. And it's not your fault. There's a ton of swords energy here, which is you. Okay, so the Two of Pentacles with the Two of Cups, the Queen of Swords. This is you, and this is, something strange happened when I started shuffling your cards. I picked them up, and I'm not ambidextrous at all. I am strictly right-handed. I started shuffling the cards, this first set that I did, and I picked it up and I did a complete opposite. I guess I was shuffling with my left hand, holding the cards in my right hand, which I never do that. And I thought, wow, this is really weird. And so I don't know if that means that some of you are ambidextrous and you can do things with both hands, because then I tried it again when I went to do tried to shuffle your or get out your extended cards, and I couldn't do it. I mean, literally, I had no idea how to do it. I couldn't hold them. It was the weirdest thing. I'm also getting it's something that has to do with a necklace, a round necklace, or a piece of jewelry that somebody in your family had given you, or it's been passed down to you, or you've lost a necklace. But it's some kind of an heirloom that I'm seeing here. This Two of Cups, I usually focus on the caduceus symbol that's in the middle of it. And I just, that has something to do with it, but I feel like it has more to do with somebody asking you for something, or trying to push a responsibility on you, asking you for favors. I'm trying to remember. I think that the caduceus actually came from the Torah, which is the Jewish Bible. And the serpents, they represent alchemy and wisdom, so that's probably why they're used a lot in medicine. That's why the caduceus is a medicine symbol. But I feel like this is, and even if it's like care that you're giving to somebody, I feel like it's some kind of care that's being pushed on you, and it's your responsibility to take care of. That's what I'm getting a lot with a lot of this. There's a lot of responsibility being pushed on to you, where you can't. And I'm also being drawn to these wings here, and they're making me think of the god Nike, or because the Nike symbol was actually a wing, and Mercury, which is the god, it's Hermes. And it's like primordial energy. And you need time to think. The problem is, okay, here's where the dilemma is for you, because Libra is across from Aries, right? So you're picking up a lot of this Aries energy, where Mars is located in retrograde. So it's just, plus the moon's getting ready to be in Aries. In that aspect, it could be good, because that could, bring some clarity to mind, because it looks like you're really struggling to get a clear head. And the Ten of Cups often represents family, and either taking care of sick people in your family. That's the sick person, but you're just run down. I mean, you may even just feel frumpy, like you haven't had time. And it doesn't have to be an elderly person. I mean, it could just be you taking care of your kids. I know kids are out of school right now. Some of them are being homeschooled. You've had this going on for months, and you are just wore out. Just out of, I don't know if this has anything to do with your reading. It's out of, Eris, which is the Roman equivalent to Aries, was really good friends with what's that other god? Well, yeah, Mercury. So, will it be Hermes? Some of you are being plagued with headaches, and I'll explain why I'm seeing this. Here you have a sword piercing through a crown. Obviously, she looks like she has a headache. But even more than that, every sign has an association with a part of the body. Libra, it has to do with the kidneys in that area. However, Aries is the head and the upper part of the body. And with you two being complete, on other ends, that energies can cross over. The number 8 has been coming up a lot in your numbers here, the way things are adding up, and also the number 10. There's a lot of 8 and 10. So I think this has to do with the time period that we're in, that it's been hard for you between, through August through now, August being the 8th month through October. But 10 is also completion, so it's ending. And it might not be ending because I don't get the sense that they're ending because things are getting necessarily better. I mean, they could be, but you've had enough. The 4 of Swords, it says truce on here, but actually this is a St. Andrew's cross. I couldn't tell you what section it is in the Bible. I don't remember, but I do know that he was one of the disciples who was responsible for bringing, he was called the Fisher of Men, I believe. And, he was responsible for taking, bringing fish and bread and all that kind of stuff. And, well, wine. I don't really think they had a huge buffet there. I mean, they had fish, bread, and wine from what we know. He was also put on a cross. And that's why they call it St. Andrew's Cross. Now, depending on what story you read, he was either bound to the cross or he was crucified. It's unclear. There's different versions of the story, but he had been put there as a martyr, and I really feel like, I don't think you're trying to be a martyr, but you are in a sense. And here, 10 of Swords, there's some type of oppression, and also people just taking a, I don't know, for some of you, yeah, they are taking advantage of you and they know it, and they're manipulating your goodwill because, okay, so Libras, they're not that certain people of other zodiacs aren't smart, but you guys are known for being diplomatic. You try to keep everything on even keel, keep everything balanced, and so when somebody needs your help, that's what you do. You try to help. And they know this, right? So they're going to keep coming to you for help because I almost feel for some of you that they know how to get you to feel bad. Like they know just what to say. Or that when maybe they're trying to get something from you, you would rather just give it to them than hear the whole spiel again or what have you. I mean, there's a good way to help people, and then there's a way to not help people. Some kind of help is bad for people, because I'm seeing here you have all these cards that are signifying. Here you have fortune, you have wealth, you have the Prince of Pentacles, and you have gain, and the Princess of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. So there's also a sense of you feeling powerful at some points, and then them just diminishing you after, after they come and bombard you with, more stuff to do. But if I say here, fight for your virtue, it's not. Okay, so be virtuous, be honest. I mean, you don't have to really get nasty about it, but sometimes when you tell people something and then perhaps they're gaslighting you, or they're just purposely trying to make you feel bad, the energy is supporting that it's time to take care of you. I mean, really take care of you, because what you have here is an opportunity with where everything is laying to make something really great come to light. Something for yourself, like sometimes, and this is just me, I see with this card is her having her eyes closed, and this being a part of her subconscious mind, and this being the conscious mind, trying to quiet the conscious mind, right? And then up here having, her thoughts. And I got this card hasn't come out yet in any of my readings, but it's a symbol of utilitarianism. So what you want to do is come out with the best result for everybody else and yourself. I mean, for everyone, right? That's utilitarianism. God, if I get this wrong, I'll never forgive myself. But I think Immanuel Kant, that's his thing. I can't believe I can't remember that right. But energy supports you doing something for yourself. Like make life your muse. Whatever you've been imagining in your mind, cut everybody else off for a while and say, look, I need to do for me, whether it's starting up your own business or even going on that trip that you want to go on. You can sit there and you can close your eyes and you can imagine being stuck and being miserable and being depressed, or you can close your eyes and you can imagine yourself being in Key West with a pomegranate daiquiri and by the pool or by the beach, or or have that hope of, at least dream of where you want to go. Because this funny thing happens with our brain, that if you sit in one spot and you keep thinking about something bad or things that are going on, it just intensifies the neural networks. And then each time you have that thought, the stronger the emotion is, your brain really thinks that that's happening, so you keep hurting yourself over and over again when you have those thoughts. And it just creates these negative neural pathways, and it almost sounds like a computer, like it's so simple that you could just delete a file or something and stick something else in there. But when those loops start happening, the more you sit in that energy, you're just giving it more power and strength. And I wish there was an easy way to combat that. It takes a long time to harness that sense of being living in the actual what's going on right now and living in the moment. especially when you have things to do. I don't know how people do it perfectly. It's a practice that has to be, it's almost like it has to become like an intrinsic part of your behavior, and you have to practice it every day to create new neural pathways. Sounds difficult, and it is difficult. It's just, and sometimes it is as simple as just getting up and walking out of the room, or walking outside, or putting on music. It's just, you have to switch it off and get in another frame of mind. Also, you're going to have to find a way to communicate with all these swords here. In order to take care of yourself, there's going to have to be a way. You almost have to think of it like a survival tactic when you come, especially if you're dealing with people that know how to manipulate your goodwill. Just simply say stuff if you don't want to be combative. And like I said, sometimes it may be necessary for you to do that. You say, I do not think you're hearing me. What I really said was blah blah blah. Or, I appreciate what you said, but I find that incorrect. And then they'll try to change the subject. Or some people are manipulative to try to like guilt trip you, throw something back on you, and you just simply say, could we get back to the subject? I mean, it's hard because when you really want to help somebody, you want to help, but their neediness will suck you in. And if you allow your emotions to dictate, probable solutions that you thought of, you're just going to get pulled back in and acquiesce to their needy demands or requests. Like I said, you can't undo intrinsic behavior. And, I mean, sometimes finally all you can do is just tell them to fuck off. But things are set up here for you to do something really spectacular with your life. And maybe for some of you, you have already. But the abundance is here. The Prince of Discs. I will point out that the god where was the card that I saw? Here, the Prince of Swords. It his head is made to look like Medusa, and I guess if you speaking of martyrs, she wasn't a willing martyr, but she was raped by Poseidon. That's true. That's the thing. And then she herself was punished for it by Athena, and that's why they turned her into Medusa. So Poseidon was not a very nice man or god. At any rate, I get the message of like, stop letting people rape your soul, because that's what it feels like. You need to take time for yourself. If you are looking into, if you are starting up a business, which here it looks like, I mean, with the Ace of Swords and all this abundance in game, it's a new beginning. For some type of either startup business, or you're getting back into business or whatever. I want to caution some of you, because I'm really getting the feeling that there's some pyramid schemes. And what I mean by pyramid schemes, If any of you still use Facebook, which I click on there maybe once every couple of days, I don't use it nearly as much as I used to, but every time I click on there, there's somebody inviting me to join some kind of something that they're selling. And if you do that, that's fine. I don't know where the urge is coming from for everybody to do this, because most of the time you have to spend so much money to get their products that you're not really making any money. And the whole point is to try to get other people to start selling the stuff. I never see anybody stick with it. Actually, the people that I see do it, they're always switching, going from one thing to another. So here you're putting money into buying all the products, it doesn't pan out, and then you turn around and do it again. The thing of it is that I don't know that a lot of you are researching these companies. They're probably not. You know, you just think, oh, that looks fun. That's some like really cool, some cool candles or some pocketbooks or some, I don't know, what was that other stuff, those clothes? That Lula, oh god. Let me just go on. Let me get on LuLaRoe for a second, or LuLaRoe or whatever. They are a horrible company. They ripped people off for so much money. They're actually forbidden in the state, Washington State, from even doing business there. They owe people so much money because they were charging their cards. They wouldn't let people return merchandise. And furthermore, it is the ugliest shit I have ever seen. People around here were, I guess about 2 or 3 years ago, they were wearing that stuff and promoting it. I don't know who designed that stuff, but I think they were halfway blind. It reminds me of, if you saw that movie Billy Madison, which is one of my favorite movies with Adam Sandler in it, and, you know, by all means, Miss Lippy was one of my favorite characters. She was cool as shit, right? But she would wear that kind of stuff. I mean, just crazy. None of it matched. And if you do have any of it in your closet still, burn that shit, because it was fucking ugly. And I'm sorry. That's why I never bought it. And when people are trying to sell it and do this stuff, and if you wore it, I'm not trying to throw shade, but it shit was ugly. That's just my opinion, though. But I'm allowed to have opinion. Ugly. No shape to it. I mean, I guess leggings are always comfortable, but oh my god, that shit was ugly. The prints. Oh. Ugh. So, anyway, back to the pyramid schemes. Just start researching the companies a little bit more, because even the beauty products or the hair products and stuff like that, they're coming. I mean, there's like knockoff shit being made by child labor in China and stuff. I mean, it's research these companies before you start pumping their product, and look into their lawsuits, and look into like how much money the people have made, and you know, doing it. Another one that was really bad was that Shakeology crap. People were like in the Beachbody cult. I mean, why on earth would anybody pay that much money for a milkshake that tastes like shit? I don't know where in the cabinet, my mom had a pack of it one time, and I think it's like rotten because it had been in there. I don't know where she got it from. But yeah, I shook it on meat and made catfish bait out of it so I could go fishing. I caught fish with it, so now they'll have a beach body. Because I throw them back, I didn't keep them. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Just please research these companies and, you know, look into it, because I'm sure some of it's on the up and up. And if you have the time where you could do it full time and actually work at it, I think you probably could make really good money on some of them. But you'd have to put time and money. Plus, you'd have to have a following. You'd have to live in an area where people could afford to do that. And right now, I don't know that there are a lot of families out there who can really afford to be, you know, buying all that extra stuff. So if you're trying to start up something like that, I would advise against it, unless you have the money to throw away. I mean, not everybody's financial things are the same. And if you need to, you know, just do it for a social gathering, Tupperware, I don't think people use it. I don't know if it's a thing anymore, but if it's a thing, that's good stuff. My mom and grandmother have Tupperware. It's like 40 years old, and this stuff's still good. That's some good shit. Anyway, enough with my rant. So that's the first part of your reading. I'll get into your extended, and I apologize if I offended anybody about the ugly LuLaRoe clothes, but yeah, I just have my opinion about clothes, and that was that. So I'll see you in the extended. Bye, Libra.